So I went to a figure drawing class here in Bilbao, and I thought it was quite a curious experience. It's March. It's Bilbao. I'm in Bilbao. And it's Monday, and I'm sick, but you cannot tell. And I'm going to a new drawing class. Well, it's not a class, it's like a new drawing place. Meeting. Where you meet and you draw. For the first time. So we'll see. And you have to look appropriately for your new drawing class. Whoop. I think I still need some jewelry. I'm not so late. Almost. Not yet. I know that they usually meet outside and they draw like the city and other stuff. But this time they had a model, and this was also the first time that I joined them. And I wanted to just go through the things that I made during those 2 hours. Oh, also I wanted to say that it was incredibly fucking sweet and nice. The majority of people there were 50 plus, which I did not expect. Because I feel like usually if you go to a new drawing class, it's more rather younger people than older people. And here was really like a lot of not very young people. And that was actually really nice to see. And they were all at different levels of skill. I would say none of them were extremely professional, but everyone made like their own things in their own way. That was really curious to see. And also, yeah, they were rather older and they were extremely communicative. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but I understand much better than I can actually speak. I can hardly speak Spanish, but I can understand some stuff. People would approach me and people would talk to me, and when they would realize that I don't really speak Spanish, they would still continue to try to communicate with me. Like, they wouldn't just drop it and be like, oh, that's too much. No, they were actually curious. They were curious who I was. They were curious how I found them. And they wanted me to feel welcomed. And that was just extremely nice. I'm not someone who feels necessarily comfortable in groups of people. It's not that I feel uncomfortable. I feel more like there is a group of people and then there is me, and there's a wall. And I pretty much always feel that. I felt that the whole time I went to school, regardless of the school I went to. I felt that at university. I felt this way. I went to karate for 13 years or 10 years in the same like sports club when I was young, and I still felt that wall after 10 years. I was like, yeah, but we're not really together, are we? Like, I felt like, yeah, everyone else kind of belongs and then there's me. So anyway, that was really nice. So like for someone like this to experience being extremely welcomed and approached, and they actually tried to make me feel a part of the group. And that was really nice. Afterwards, they also invited me out for drinks with them. And anyway, now I would like to just go through the stuff that I made and talk about it a little bit. Солнышко. Солнышко мое. You're in the way. You're in the way. In the way. Just. Okay. I haven't done a figure drawing class since I was at university, which was like in the past life, more or less. I don't know exactly, it's been years, maybe 5 years? Probably like 5 years ago. So, and while I do draw bodies quite a lot, which you definitely know if you've seen any of my art, it's still a little bit of a different skill, to draw from a model that I haven't lost, but that I've kind of forgotten a little bit. I worked on 2 different papers. I worked on this big brown paper, which was extremely enjoyable. and I really liked it, but I had to stop because I was running out of paper and I didn't want to use up all of it. And I also worked in my sketchbook. I first started my sketchbook because I was like, oh, I don't want to go big immediately. But it was pretty bad at first, so I went big pretty quickly. Alright, so the first 3 poses I did in the sketchbook, then I went to this one, and I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, so the first one is kind of fine. I don't know. I think you need to be closer here. How are you gonna see from all the way there? Look how small, you can't see, it's this one. So I very quickly went from fine liner to markers because I couldn't just stand how thin the lines were. They weren't doing the drawings any justice, for sure. So this was the first one. And that's it. And from these, I think my favorite one is this one. It's also a very simple one, and it's also made with a very thin fine liner. But I think unlike the rest, this has a feeling to it. This has a mood. Okay. So if you know me, you know that I like working on a big scale. I like big canvases. I like big pieces of paper. And I don't work as big as I want to because my space is currently very limited. My living conditions are not really allowing that very well. But yeah, I thrive when there's space. So I did these charcoal drawings, and these are the ones that I actually enjoy. Not all of them, not all of them. I did feel that I haven't practiced this in a long time, for sure, for sure. And I started with this one, and quite a lot of times I wouldn't capture the whole body, the whole figure, because I wouldn't have the space. Because I start and then I run out of space, but like I'm not trying to make it work really, so I just go with what's happening. This was the first one I did here, then I did this one, and when we came to this pose, I was like, well, I'm not actually interested in just drawing the bodies. I'm not interested in learning how to draw a body well. I'm way interested in something beyond that, something. And I remember that I can actually approach it differently and I don't have to draw the same thing in the same way, and I can also like play around with it more, whatever that means. And I think I was able to do it here with this pose quite well. And from this point, the class, it got a bit more fun for me, I would say. Okay, then we have this one. And I think this is the favorite page that I made. Though I really like only one thing here, or I guess 2 things here. Can you guess which one? This one? I really like this figure, and it's funny because when the model changed the pose into this one, my perspective was kind of, I felt like it was kind of stupid, and I even thought about skipping it and not drawing it, and I was like, ah, fuck it, I'll still do it. And this came out to be my favorite thing out of everything I've done. It's something about the shapes, something about the form, the space around the model that works, you know? Yeah, and here I also started working with the space around the model as well, because I was like, well, it's kind of boring to only focus on the model, only on the body. Like, there is more that's happening. And then the last page I have is this one. Wait, this one. And here I think this figure here is the one that came out the most interesting. I mean, there's also something about this one just simply because there is also more going on here. Yeah. And I hated this one. I hated how this one was coming out. I still am kind of like ashamed of this figure. So I focused on the shadow instead. So I did that. And I think these poses in the end were... I think these were like 5 minutes, and these were 4 minutes, and the ones at the beginning were 2 minutes. It's something around that time. It was all quite short, mostly. And that's it. That's what I've done. I actually got a little bit bored by the end of the class, which I was surprised about, because I went to these classes before, or to classes like these, and I was always very, very excited the whole time. But here, by the end of the second hour, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm done here. I don't want to do more, for sure. I'm not sure why. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me and my art. And go make some art, I guess, as well. What else are we supposed to do?